Howdy, anyone. Welcome to an interdimensional mallet devlog. I am your host, an evil man. And today, we are going to be giving a demo of the 20 Paths VTT event handling system. So if you've seen the introduction to the 20 Paths VTT system, you would know that events are how 20 Paths changes things. If something happens in 20 Paths VTT, it's because an event did it. A thing got added or removed, a resource got increased or decreased, and an event or a link got added or removed. And all of this is done in the event stream, and the event stream is what we're going to be demoing today. So the first concept in the event stream is we have these event pointers. So right now they're all pointing at -1, which indicates that they're pointing at nothing. But this is how we implement that index, where we can say, hey, current is what the most recently triggered event was, and we have a queue back here, which we're tracking the front of the queue and the back of the queue of all of the events that are coming up, that are going to be triggered and run and do their fancy things. So right now, none of that's going on, and we don't have anything except this null event in our database. So in our backing store, where everything is kept nice and neat and tidy, the only thing we have is this null event. So if we try and say, hey, what about all of my things that are here? So we can check on all the things. Or what about all my resources? All of them are just empty. And the tool we're using to look at this is called Postman. It's just calling these debug endpoints on 20 Paths VTT that are letting me just sort of do this stuff by hand until we can actually get some real tools to work. So let's get about to creating some events. So here's a thing. Let's create Drogar. Drogar the dwarf, our character. So we're gonna submit here this name of Drogar, and you can see that we have an event that got created here. Here's our event ID. Here's where the previous and next events are, which are -1 because it's the only event. And let's go take a look at our Drogar the dwarf thing, and no, he's not there yet. And that's because our current event is still -1. We don't actually have any event that's been triggered, but we do have the event in our list. It's sitting there ready to trigger. And so how do we do that? To do that, we pop the event. And what that means is that we take the event off of the top of the queue head, and we turn it into our current event. So now our current event is event 1. And if we go look at our things, we can see that we have Drogar. Hooray! He is here. We have a thing. And in fact, just for kicks and giggles, let's give Drogar his mighty war axe. Because what is a dwarf without a war axe? So we are going to give that a submit. And we're going to see that now we have another event, ID2. The previous event, the one that was put into the system right before this event, was ID1. And so now we can see this here. And let's go look at our sword. Oh, nope, not there yet. Gotta go pop it off of the event queue. And now we have Drogar, and we have Drogar's mighty sword. But these are just names. They don't mean anything. They're just there, sitting there, waiting for, something to give these things meaning. So how are we going to do that? Let's go and create some resource events. So first, let's assign some actions to Drogar. So here, we're going to say Drogar, which is thing ID 1. We're going to give him a resource named action, and it's going to have a count of 4. So here we get another event, which is a resource create, and it has like a resource modifier of 4. And for Drogar's war axe, let's give it the tag, not longsword. Silly script writer didn't fix this. Let's call it a war axe, something there, and we're just giving the tag here. And so let's create these events here. So we've already created the resource event for that, and let's create this tag war axe. Let's pop both of those events off of the queue, and now we can see that hey, we have resources. And in database parlance, these are foreign keys that relate back to our things. So you can see here our thing ID is 1. So Drogar has an action count of 4, and our sword has a tag, or sorry, our war axe has a tag of war axe. So, but unfortunately, we still don't know, in the system at least, that Drogar owns Drogar's war axe. And so what we're going to do there is we're going to put in this link. We're going to say that there's a source thing ID, our Drogar, and we're going to have a target thing ID of Drogar's war axe. Let's go ahead and submit that event. Let's remember to pop it, otherwise it won't do anything. And now you can see that our link is there. But what's this? Our second link, which is just the same as the first, reversed. Every link in 20 Paths VTT is bi-directional. It swings both ways, which means that if there is a link from Drogar to the war axe, there is a link from the war axe to Drogar. And the system handles all of that in the back end. So if we create a link from Drogar to the war axe, it automatically knows to create one from the war axe to Drogar. And it deals with that automatically. I don't have to create 2 separate events to do that. But if you remember in our little presentation here, we can rewind events. We can undo changes. So why don't we reverse some of these things? So here we just reverse the links and they've been deleted. Our resources are all still there, but why don't we pop off that war axe tag? All right, so now we don't have the war axe tag. And in fact, we can pop off all of our events. We can reverse them all. And now we're back pretty much to where we started. We have no things, we have no resources, we have no links, except that our event queue is still there. Current is -1 because we don't have any current events. We just undid all of them. But all of our events are still there, waiting to be replayed as necessary. So I haven't yet implemented the ability to remove events from the queue. So let's say I just want to delete this tag here and just get rid of it. The system can't do that yet, but it will. In the meantime, we can just pop those events right back off of the queue and now do everything, and we've got all of our links and resources and fun things like that. So yeah, but we're not quite done yet, because all of this time we've been dealing with one type of event, which is the create event. But maybe we want to have events that remove things too. So here I'm going to create a remove event that's going to remove this link, and because links are bidirectional, it doesn't matter who I say is the source thing ID versus the target thing ID. We're going a little bit off script here, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to try something to tempt the Dark Angel of Demos to visit us and break things. But here we go. Now we have a link remove event. Let's see what happens when we play that event in a moment. Here we're going to remove our action, and so that's going to remove that action resource. And we're also going to remove Drogar from the system. We're just going to remove him. He's going to get deleted. So let's remove our link here. All right, so our link is now gone. All of our links are gone. So sad. All right, well, let's pop the next event, right? And so we have deleted our resource, right? So the resource is no longer in the database. Not exactly. So what's happened in the database instead is that we have soft deleted this resource. And the reason for that is the remove event on the resource doesn't necessarily know what the count is for that resource. So instead of trying to delete the event and remember everything about it from the database so that when we reverse said event, we have to remember the count, Instead, we just have this flag, which is called a soft delete. Now for links, because for a link, everything you need to know about the link is just in the event, we can actually delete links rather than have a soft delete. It makes things a bit easier in the long run, but this helps us to delete events and then undelete those same events later. So let's delete our resource again, and here you can see the message it got deleted true. And let's go and delete Drogar. And now Drogar is gone forever, except no, he's still there. He's been marked as deleted, but he's not actually deleted. In fact, let's go ahead and reverse that. I don't want to delete my mighty Drogar. I want him to be there, and I want his actions to be there so that he can use them. Hooray! So, that is the action handling system in 20 packs of ETT. So with this in place, with a few additional modifications, we are now able to start creating rules. And rules, go and check out the video in the description, rules are what actually add events to the stream. So this is coming up. I am really excited, and I hope to catch you guys again soon. Subscribe if you'd like to see more of these incredibly riveting demos and talks. Give it a like if you think that this is a really cool idea. Comment below if you think that this is just kind of stupid, and why didn't you make your user interface first so that people can look at something shiny? That's because I'm a back-end programmer. I don't know how to make UI. Don't talk to me like that. It hurts my feelings. But it's been a blast. I will see you guys soon.